Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Wednesday, September the 16th, 2020. So we've made it to the middle of another week. Good morning, Pastor Alex Williams. How are you? What's happening in Baltimore? Good morning, Kim Hill. How are you? Good morning. As all of you are coming in, just wanted to say a blanket good morning, just in case I miss your name as you are popping in, as I'm going through some of my notes. So good morning. Good morning. Yep. Happy Wednesday. Joyful Wednesday to you as well. All right, y'all. So Hurricane Sally made landfall in Alabama about maybe 30 or 40 minutes ago as a Category 2 hurricane. So begin praying for the people in Alabama. They are expecting a lot of floods in that area. So we do want to pray for everyone in that Alabama area. Good morning, Beverly Woodard. So let's start off. Everyone's having a conversation about what happened in Louisville yesterday. Louisville agrees to pay $12 million payout and policing charges in agreement with family of Brianna Taylor. And as you all know, she was killed in a police raid. Now the settlement with Taylor's family will not, let's squash this now. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. It will not affect the ongoing investigation by Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron of whether the officers who raided Taylor's apartment should face criminal charges stemming from her death. The Justice Department is also investigating the case. So y'all, we have to continue to pray. Good morning, Jacqueline. We have to continue to pray for justice for Brianna Taylor. So yes, there was a settlement. So there was a little, I think how her mother said it was a little inch and a mile forward with the settlement, but we can't stop there. We still want to see justice all the way around. The Taylor family attorney said they would continue their demands that criminal charges be filed. Attorney Benjamin Crump called on the state attorney general to charge the officers involved in the raid immediately as of this week. He wants that to happen. And at the very minimum, second degree manslaughter charges. So they are calling on them to do something. So please know, just because they had a settlement of $12 million does not mean they're going to stop going after the officers who raided the apartment and murdered Brianna Taylor. All right, y'all. Axio is reporting. Now, get this. I love this. And this goes back to something I was saying yesterday. We must target our millennials, our younger voters. Axio reports that 400,000 people have already registered to vote in 2020 via Snapchat. Now, I thought Snapchat had gone away, but Snapchat is still happening right now. So as of this past Monday evening, 407,024 people have registered to vote on Snapchat, according to the data reported within the app. That is up from 2018 voting. So that is up to getting those young people registered to vote. So if you know young people who are on Snapchat, tell them they can go to Snapchat and register to vote. What else is up with Snapchat? I'm going to have to start looking into Snapchat because they're doing some things. They are pushing poll worker sign up. They are in partnership with Poll Hero, which you've heard me talk about before. So they are pushing poll worker sign up. Snapchat adds a in-app voter registration targeting specifically younger people, period. That's what they're doing. That's their in-app voter registration. And then Snapchat also has and I went on there to check it out. Now, I'm on Snapchat, but not for real. So if you see me, I'm not really on there. I just signed up so I could see how this works. They prep young users to vote in November. So they actually have voter registration and information. Hi, Marion. Hi, Brenda. They have voter registration information on Snapchat. Who knew? So again, if you see me on Snapchat, don't follow me or anything because I just went on there to sign up to see how the app worked. I'm not really on there. I just wanted to try it out for myself before I shared it with all of you. Also, Snapchat is doing some more connection where they're going to, in the middle of someone's Snapchat, whatever that is, I think you're up there for 24 hours. Hi, Latrice Jones. How's back to school working for you, sister? Snapchat is doing a lot when it comes to voting. And they in the middle of a Snapchat, if I understand their platform, your post or whatever is up for 24 hours and then it disappears, it goes away, I guess forever, whatever. But anyway, even in the middle of that, they'll flash or they'll do pop-ups of voter registration and things that are going on with voting. Good morning, Annette. So y'all check out Snapchat. Again, I'm not on it, so if you see my name, I just went on there to check it out so I can share the information with you. But as of Monday evening, 407,024 young people have registered to vote via Snapchat. They got it going on. All right, y'all, everyone mark your calendars. I want all of us to do it. I'm noticing we're getting about 300 views on an average, sometimes more, sometimes it's 700. But if all of us just on News in Motion, if we all came together and joined arms, linked arms, on September the 22nd, that is National Voter Registration Day. September 22nd. Don't really wait for then. Do it now. But on that day, if we will all reach out to 2 to 3 people and encourage them to vote and walk them through the registration, the voter process, just imagine how many more people will be registered to vote. So mark your calendars for September 22nd. Don't wait for then. But on that day, we're going to make a concerted effort to get as many people to register to vote as possible. So that is National Voter Registration Day. All right, y'all, the list is growing. This is exciting to me. Businesses give employees paid time off to work polls on Election Day. Businesses, lawyers and judges are also receiving CEUs, continuing education units, and another certification that they use to continue their law practice and so forth. So people are coming together and they are signing up to become poll workers. So get this, we already know about Old Navy. Y'all, Tory Burch has joined the group along with dozens of other companies are paying employees for the time they use to volunteer as poll workers. So yes, businesses are getting on board. Facebook is giving employees additional paid time off if they volunteer on Election Day, as it works to stamp out the whole election information on their platform. They're doing whatever they can to encourage people. More than 800, y'all, more than 800, that's exciting. Corporations have signed into what they call time to vote. They're pledged to allocate time to employees to vote during the workday. So the platform is called Pledge to Vote. Right now, more than 800 companies have signed up. Many of those companies have said they would give workers paid time off to vote as well. So they're giving them paid time off. We know Best Buy is shortening their hours that day to make sure all their employees go out to vote. Now, we also have Uber. And I guess Uber and Best Buy are in some sort of challenge. I don't really know the full story there. But Uber said Election Day should be considered a company holiday. And they are now challenging companies to shut down. Well, I have a challenge for Uber and Lyft. I challenge y'all to give free rides to the polls, especially where polling locations will begin to close. So that's my challenge to Uber and Lyft. Give free rides to the polls. And if any of you know that that's happening, let me know. Good morning, my brother, Lewis Pryor. I almost called you by your nickname. I caught myself. But be mindful of that. And if someone knows that Uber and Lyft is already giving rides, let us know so we can inform other people. I'm also challenging car dealerships. Car dealerships. If you don't want to do your new cars, do the used cars and get people to the polling places. All right, y'all, power to the polls. And I'm going to just give me a moment as I'm going through this. Y'all, this is just called Power Pack Wednesday, if you will, where I'm giving you information. Power to the polls, you heard me talk about a few weeks ago. It's an initiative that launched to address the shortage of poll workers, partner with over 70 companies, including Starbucks. Starbucks is trying to give a comeback. I'm going to have to go buy some coffee or something, y'all, to connect people who want to work the polls with the counties, training the would-be workers. So they're talking about training the would-be workers. Big employers include Gap. We know about them. Old Navy. We know about them. Target Corporation and Warby Parker. That's the eyeglass place. They're telling their employees they can take paid time off to volunteer as election workers this fall including early voting. So we have some companies that are opening up. Yes, give free rides to the polls, please, Annette. Yes, I agree with that. So we have companies that are taking it up a notch. They're saying, okay, what can we do to help? So they really want to help solve the national poll workers shortage and offer workers a way to find a sense of purpose and to be engaged, be a part of civic engagement. All right, including with that, Power to the Polls, an initiative to recruit low-risk poll workers to staff in-person voting locations on Election Day during early voting in October. So a lot of these companies, there's about 70 companies. There are 70 companies that are now saying as of October, they're going to pay their employees to even staff early voting. So that, give a shout out to, y'all know they're trying to come back. Give a shout out to Starbucks. It pains me to say that, but I think they're just trying to come back. So got to give credit where credit is due, whatever their reason is. Last week, the Civic Alliance, the group began the campaign, said it surpassed its goal of 250, good morning, Anita, 250,000 volunteer poll workers through its corporate partnership. So we're excited. So now their goal has increased to 350,000. So that's exciting. All right, y'all, we got to give a shout out to Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled that the Green Party is ineligible to appear on state ballots. They're like, nope, we're not happening. That's not happening. If you saw any of the news on Monday, they were wanting them to change their postcards that were going out about early voting and who was going to be on the ballot. They were told to hold those as it was being argued in their Supreme Court, and that's the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Well, Wisconsin Supreme Court shut it down. What was happening was the occupant of the Oval had some of his attorneys and some of his surrogates go to fight on behalf trying to put Kanye West's name back on the ballot in Wisconsin. No, because they really believe that if people see his name, they will vote for him, which will take votes away from Biden-Harris. So that is what's happening. But Wisconsin said, absolutely not. Go ahead and send the postcards you have ready. Go ahead and send those out. We're not adding the third party. We're not adding the Green Party. So shout out to Wisconsin for that. But I want to talk about that just for a moment. I know we're running out of time, but I want to talk about that just for a moment. Y'all, there are two main people on this presidential election ballot. That's the current occupant of the Oval. Let me just say his name, Donald J. Trump. I couldn't even see, I even stuttered saying that. Donald J. Trump and Joseph Biden. So those are the two that are on the presidential ballot. That's fine. But I'm begging you to look at the other names on the ballot. Look at your local and look at your state. Look at every area. Look at your county commissioner, your county treasurer, your county sheriff. Look at your county attorney general. Look at your court, the slate of court. Look at all of those positions, any Congress, any state representative. Look at every level. Look at every level. When you get to that top level, vote. Vote your conscience. Vote what's close to you. Vote on health care. Looking at those two names. Now, people asked, did I watch last night? I tried. I couldn't. The moment he opened his mouth, he lied. I switched over to OWN and watched about Black fathers. That's what I did last night. I can't hear it anymore. I can't hear it. Yes, Latrice Jones, vote locally. It's a must that we do that. It is a must. For the last time, Kanye West is not on the ballot. He is not. I think he ended up on maybe 2 state ballots, but even they're trying to get his name off of those. He is not. Do you want him for your president? No, he can't even run his own personal life at the moment. That's not a slam. That's a truth. He's not running, so let's not even write him in, focus on him or anything. For those of you who are saying, I don't like either candidate, I'm just stay home. Don't do that. Still go to your poll or send in your absentee ballot after you completed your absentee application and vote for everything else on there. Vote for everything else on there. You staying home, not voting for anyone, that's not raising your voice. Vote for everything else. But hear me, y'all, we have to Yes, yes, Lachelle. Yes, yes, yes for judge in Franklin County. We have to exercise our right to vote. It's a must that we do that. I'm begging you to do that. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S., I know I go to the World Health Organization. There are 6,788,471 cases. There are, ready for this, we hit the number, 200,197 deaths. Again, he knew. That's the hashtag, y'all, he knew. Recovered 4,068,704, so let's celebrate that recovery. Now let's talk about law and order for a moment. And this bothered me, this bothered me, and I'm sure it bothered you. I know you've seen this by now. A nurse at an ICE detention center in Georgia has filed a federal whistleblower complaint accusing the facility of performing mass hysterectomies on women immigrant detainees, often without their consent, and other examples of jarring medical neglect. And I'm reading that to you out of Law and Crime. All right, a 27-page complaint filed with the Department of Homeland Security internal watchdog detailed the recollections of Dawn Wooten, a Georgia ICE detention facility nurse who claimed she saw symptomatic detainees denied COVID-19 tests. The allegations, and again, I'm reading this straight from the press release. The allegations of medical malfeasance, which ICE denied, included the performance of numerous hysterectomy, many on women who didn't understand explanations for the procedures, and at the hands of a doctor known as the uterus collector. That's what he's known as, the uterus collector. Wooten accused LaSalle Corrections, the prison's private operator, of retaliating against those who complained, putting immigrants in solitary confinement for objecting to their treatment, and demoting the nurse for questioning their practices. That was a whole lot that I just shared with you. And you can read it for yourself. It is out there. It is out there. The fact that someone just took in their own hands to perform hysterectomies, removed just all kinds of things. We need to pray. To me, this is what's on the ballot. This is what's on the ballot. Things like this is what's on the ballot. And we have to be ready to vote based upon what we believe. My prayer this morning, I have no problem telling you this. My prayer this morning was that, God, do you see us? And I know you do. I know you do, Jesus. I know you do. But will you help us? I know you can, but will you help us? God, I have to trust you. When I got up off the floor, and I'm talking about laying prostrate this morning. When I got up off the floor, I said, God, I trust you. Whatever you see, whatever you know, whatever you're doing, I have to trust you. But I had to say, in my lament time with Jesus, this isn't okay. This is not okay. This is an administration, a party who talks about unborn babies being pro-life. But you're going to rip away the uteruses of women who are in your detention centers? You gotta be kidding me. That's a conflict. That means you're lying to us every day, calling yourselves pro-life when you are ripping away uteruses from women. So this should be on the ballot. Yeah. So for my win today, I want us to not only say her name, but I want to stand with this mighty woman. And again, her name is Dawn Wooten. She is the nurse who is the whistleblower who brought this to light. Black woman. We need to stand with her. I don't care if she was a white woman, we need to stand with her. But it hit me that this was a black woman who was very powerful in her delivery, very powerful in her interview, very powerful, and she's not backing down. She gets the win today. She gets to win today. The same thing was done to black women during slavery. You're absolutely right, Latrice. And maybe that's why it hit me the way it did last night when this all came to light, and why it still hit me this morning. This is what's happening, y'all. So when we're talking about voting on November 3rd, or whether you early vote or whatever, but I'm talking about the general upcoming election, this is what we need to put on the ballot. This right here. This right here. Snatching away the uterus of women in a detention center and then putting them in solitary confinement if they say anything. This is what should be on the ballot. This is why we should vote. This is why. That's also my inspirational message, y'all. We need to pray. We need to pray. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. We need to pray. We need to pray. Lyft said they will provide discounted rides to the poll. No, I need them to provide free rides to the poll. We need to write them. No, not discounted, free rides to the poll. Yes, I stand with Don Wooten as well. Yeah, y'all. So that's where we are. I know I gave you a lot of content today, but we're getting closer and closer to those of us. Again, North Carolina is already voting. Many of us will begin voting soon. I think it's October the 6th, around that time for most of us. That's the news today. That's the news today. To give you an update, I've been asking all of you to join my YouTube, to subscribe. And again, that's www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. And that's Gail, D as in David, U, D as in David, Ley, no space. YouTube, www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. We have a possible, very, very great sponsor who's wanting to come alongside News in Motion. And they say because I'm giving information that they don't really hear, or they get a snippet of it, but I'm breaking it down and they're looking at our views and everything on Facebook. But they need to see my subscriptions up over 1,000 on YouTube. When I first came to ask you to join my YouTube, I believe I had 117 people. We're now up to, I believe, 248. Today at midnight is it for them to revisit. And they said they will decide in their meeting tomorrow what they're going to do. But right now I know the number is still low. So only if you want to join and subscribe, so that we can get a sponsor, we can get a partner. And I'm not going at it alone. I'm taking all of us on the ride with us. So if you can encourage your family and friends to join the YouTube, to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who have already subscribed. I appreciate you. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of work. So I need to run on over to IG. But until tomorrow, 7:25 a.m. Eastern, right here, I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. You make it a great day. And remember the name, Dawn Wooten. Let's stand with her. Let's support her. You know she's getting attacked. So let's pray. Let's pray a covering of protection around Dawn Wooten. Her mind, her emotions, her mental stability, her physical being, everything. Let's pray for her. Y'all know she's getting attacked. And it's interesting to me, before I sign off, it's interesting to me, there's been a lot of whistleblowers, but you never really heard the name or saw the faces. But when she filed her 27-page complaint, her name and her face came out immediately. But she was bold enough to come out anyway and say, yes, it's me, and this is what I'm seeing, and it's not okay. So let's surround her in prayer. All right, y'all, I'm Gail Dudley. I'm out. Have a great day.